Hello YouTube, welcome to another one of my Duel Links videos, and today we're back at it with the hybrid decks. This time we're using Darklords with Aromages. Now, Aromages give Darklords a great deal of synergy. You remember when I talk about hybrid decks, I want the decks to be able to complement each other, and they really do in this instance. We have Armage Jasmine being able to draw, with your Armor Guardian. So you can hopefully draw into your Darklord engine, and vice versa. If you have your Darklord engine, you can hopefully draw into Jasmine, Armor Guardian, or even a Rosemary. They all have great synergy with each other. Armage is gaining life. It's going to help you, mitigate the cost for your Darklord effects. And if you gain life using Sanctified Darklords, you can activate your Armage's effects, which is really clutch, especially during your opponent's turn. Because say you have an Eggshell and Rosemary. If you negate something with Eggshell, you're gonna gain life, so then Rosemary becomes an Econ during your opponent's turn, which is insane. If you don't have Rosemary, you're at least going to get to draw with Jasmine. If you have Kananga, you're gonna get to send a back row back. The synergy is there, and yeah, it was a ton of fun to use. We're using Beatdown because Beatdown is a great skill. And I didn't really want to run it with anything else, especially now when we have pretty big monsters in the meta. I needed something to help me get over those big monsters. And another really cool thing is that the Armor Guardian buffs all of your monsters, whether they're Armage or not. So that 500 attack boost on Superbia and Eggshell just adds up with the beatdown, and you get insane amounts of attacks. But yeah, we're still running the same Darklord engine: 3 Eggshell, 3 Banishment, 3 Contact, 1 Superbia, 1 Sanctified Darklord. I wish I could put more Sanctified Darklord, but at that point I would have to cut either Contact or Superbia, and I'm not ready to do that. So we're just gonna run the 1 Sanctified Darklord because it is a big part of the deck, since you want that life point gain with your Armage monsters. So for the Armage engine, we have 3 Armor Guardian, key card in the deck, 3 Rosemary, 2 Jasmine, 1 Kananga, and then 1 Bergamot. Bergamot is going to be really easy to summon in this deck because Contact, you're going to have a lot of monsters on the field, so you can just tribute one of them for your Bergamot, and then if you gain life while Bergamot is on the field, he gains 1000 attack and defense. It just gets crazy high. And on top of that, he can pierce if your life points are higher than the opponent's. But that's pretty much it. As far as deck explanation goes, I have a fake extra deck just to keep my opponent guessing. And we're running OG Kaiba because he's not being shown enough love since his updated counterpart showed up. So we got the OG Kaiba running. And let's get into some games. Here we're going up against Red Y, or Reddy, from China. Jack Atlas, and we're going second, which we don't mind. If we go first, we have the potential to set up an unbreakable board. If we go second, we get an extra card, so it's all good in the hood. Alright, Keeper is going to add Neos Fusion and then special summon that Neos on the field, and I believe they also go for the Neos Fusion, yeah, using the same Neos that they just special summon. So it's a Neos Dark Magician hybrid kind of deck. We're going to draw 2 immediately, summon, activate Banishment, activate the Armor Guardian, just to kind of fill out the back row, see what I was going up against, and now we can go for Darklord Contact. Summon Rosemary, gain life. Rosemary is going to switch or Eggshell into attack position. There you see some of the synergy. Destroy the Keeper, attack the Neos. Eggshell is going to search during the end phase for another Eggshell. And normally I would have wanted to have Sanctified set up, but because I didn't have another Darklord monster in my hand, I wasn't going to be able to. So I just went ahead and searched for the Eggshell, see if I can draw 2 if I get another Darklord card. Magician's Rod is going to add Dark Magic Curtain. It's going to banish 2, summon Sorcerer. It doesn't go for the effect because I can negate. So I'm going to negate right here to activate Rosemary and switch the Neos into Defense Vision, and then he just scoops. Kind of unnecessary in my opinion. He could have destroyed my Rosemary, and then I'm down to 1 Eggshell. but he did not want to see any more of that boo. Alright, here we have Sartorius. Master of Destiny counter trap deck. You can't even call it Desperado now because they run so many counter traps. It's a counter deck. Alright, we're going first, so we're gonna use Jasmine to hopefully draw into a Darklord card. We get another Eggshell, so now we can draw 2. Activate Banishment, get that contact. Now that our life points are higher, we can also summon that Rosemary and have her on the field. And we're gonna search the Sanctified. There's another. Oh, I didn't go for the Rosemary summon, huh? Questionable play for me. Oh, I couldn't because my life was lower. I'm a 4-hit. I should have done that before I activated Eggshell's effect. But that's okay because we're gonna top deck Kananga, and that's arguably better now. So we're gonna activate Garden. Jasmine is gonna activate. Kananga is gonna activate. He decides to negate the Kananga to destroy it and put a Parsat on the field. We're still gonna get to draw, and we gain life. Actually, we don't gain life because he didn't get destroyed. He got sent to the deck. So we're gonna go for Banishment, second Rebirth of Parsat. So that's gonna give him a second Avenging Knight. Very strong, and that's not gonna be enough. Our life points are higher, so we can summon Rosemary. Activate Beatdown, go for the attack. Attack the face down, we destroy a Blast Spider. Top decks Blast Spider goes for the attack. We're going to negate with Sanctified. That's also going to activate my Rosemary and my Jasmine, so we get to draw 1 and we get to switch positions. Gonna go for the attack on my Jasmine, which is fine. Activate the effect, flip, summon Kananga. Look at this. Look at the attack debuff because of Kananga. So good. And that's game. Love it, man. And my life points were at 6,700 because I just keep gaining life with the field spell, even though I'm paying for my Darklord effects. And here we have a Crowler replay. Not a lot happens in this one, but I wanted to save it so you can kind of see your base case scenario OTK hand if your opponent, you know, doesn't have anything. Even though I believe he summons a monster or sets a monster. Yeah, sets a monster. We have Banishment, top deck Superbia. That's great because we can go ahead and discard that with Eggshell, draw 2. We already have Contact in hand. We'll pick up our field spell. Activate Contact, summon Superbia in defense position, summon Eggshell in attack position. Now I can switch my Superbia back into attack position. I have 1 negation, and look at that. Because my life points were higher on that Rosemary attack, no monster effects could have activated. So even if that was something like, I don't know, Wing Karibo, it wouldn't have activated and would have gotten the W. Alright, next we have Kaiba. Look at this man also using OG Kaiba. Respect. Alright, we're going first. So we're going to try to set up a really strong board. And we have the hand to do so. Banishment is going to add Eggshell. Discard the other Banishment to draw 2. We pick up a Jasmine so we can immediately summon that, activate Garden, draw 1 more card. Pick up a Rosemary so we can do the additional normal summon. Contact is going to summon Eggshell. I'm going to search Sanctified, and there's another Banishment in the graveyard, so immediately in my opponent's draw phase I can search for a monster to discard with Sanctified Darklord. So look at my board. I'm going to draw. If I negate something, I'm going to switch a monster's position, and I'm also going to have a second negation with Eggshell on the field if I need it. Like, that is the kind of board you can set up with this deck. It's insane. Actually, I couldn't negate twice because I activated this effect, so sorry. If I had another monster and I didn't have to waste my effect there, we could have done it twice. So we're going up against Vendread. We just have to negate you know, any sort of banishment effect. We can always chain to that, so we're not super worried. Slayer is going to be summoned, activates the effect. We're going to go ahead and negate, discarding Sanctified. Gain life, draw one, switch him to defense position. It is too much for my opponent. He just scoops it up. And last but not least, we have a Loomis. And this is what happens when your opponent counters one engine of your deck. The other one picks it right up and delivers you the W, as you will see. Alright, we're going first. Trying to set up a nice board if we can. Alright, we're gonna activate Banishment, add Superbia, because we don't want to draw back into it. Draw 2. We don't get contact, so we're hoping Jasmine is gonna give us that contact. It does not, but we get an Eggshell, so we're just gonna summon the Rosemary. Activates Necrovalley, so at that point, a lot of my Darklord engine is dead. My Darklord engine is now only a drawing engine. I can summon from the graveyard. Obviously, I can't activate any effects that shuffle a card back from the graveyard to the deck. All I can do is draw and negate with a Sanctified on the field. So he's gonna go into Supernaturalist, also Spiritualist. Really good turn 1 for them. Destroys my Jasmine. We're gonna activate Rosemary and put him in defense position. Doesn't matter that much because he's still 3,300. We pick up a Darklord card so we can draw 2. Tribute for or Bergamot. And look how big this boy is. 4,200, stays at 3,900 during their turn. So he's obviously in trouble there. Activate Banishment, get a Sanctified just to thin the deck. I can't special summon or anything like that, so there was no point in searching contact. But we can still get boosted. 39 back again. Beatdown. Unfortunately, I couldn't negate this effect if I wanted to because my life points were slightly lower. But we destroy a Gravekeeper's Priestess, hit him for 42 to the face, and that's it. No Darklord engine needed for that win, just the draws, I guess. And the Aramage picked it up. And yeah, that was the last replay. Quick video, really fun deck. I can't believe I didn't see this this synergy going. I know someone mentioned it a while back and I never tried it out. And it truly is crazy. Bergamot gets so big, I mean 4,200 attack. And that's with only one character giving him the beatdown boost when you can get up to 3 on the field very easily. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy that. Thank you so much for watching. As always, like, comment, and subscribe if you want. And till next time.